important. You are good and every day. You can make it every way, every day. Wait on me, so we can see more of this silly world.
Or it is supposed to be raining out. Everybody, I know the lighting is a little off, and please, please forgive me when it comes to technical issues. But sometimes we just have to just speak out. Now, the car is a very, very important aspect of my life. As you can see here, this is actually a Kia. It started off as a go-kart company. If you know what a go-kart is, those little go-karts. And they're competing with all the vehicles right now. But before I leave, I wanted to show you some stuff I found in the trash. This is all stuff that was in the trash. Stuff right here. So if anybody's interested, they want trash art. Anyway, just wanted to make that little statement. I'm gonna walk out this way. Today is a good day to vlog. Really nice right here. I don't know, I just see these, you know, the difference between that green and that green. It's very interesting though. Before I left, I turned on different vloggers because I'm into watching vloggers, and I'm real impressed with Grim Life Collective. They're out in Los Angeles right now, and they're getting offers for horror films. It's funny, I don't know the guy's name that runs it, but Jessica is the partner of the group. And they had a werewolf mask, and I thought that was interesting because I started to write a UFC fighting film based on Hoist Gracie, and I was going to pitch it to Bradley Cooper. I don't know why, I guess because he was a peer of mine. And I was watching Rocky, and I started thinking, you know, Bradley is actually from Philadelphia. God, I really go from one point to another, but I kept kind of thinking about the screenplay, and I have sometimes just to write a screenplay. I've been that way since 1991 or so, 1992 or so, and I've written a lot of them. You know, my favorite screenwriter is someone like, you know, Schaefer,
Paul Schrader,
that wrote Taxi Driver. He's also a great film critic and a filmmaker. And I kind of, you know, when I think about a screenplay or I think about a movie, I like to talk about it a lot because I try to figure out myself and why I want to tell this story, or why I want to, you know, and is his name? No, Schrader, not Schaefer. I was thinking of Paul Schaefer from David Letterman. I'm all over the place. Schrader, Paul Schrader. He wrote First Reformed, the taxi driver, cat people, things like that. But there's a reason for like all his stories. There's a content reason behind why he's telling a story. And there must have been a reason why Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky, the original Rocky, which is a very, very good film. And also, I haven't read the script, but I'm assuming that a lot of the script stuff is in there. And, you know, maybe I could get back to the Hoist Gracie thing, but it turned into a werewolf movie. And now I kind of decided to kind of scratch it. I'm sticking to the werewolf thing, but I've got a better idea. And it's about a werewolf vlogger. I know this sounds really crazy, but I've been thinking a lot about American Werewolf in London. And Grim Life is very interesting. And so my idea is it's like a Grim Life collective, people that are out in this like field in the middle of the daytime. For some reason it could be nighttime, but for some reason when I was thinking about it today, I thought about daytime. So they're walking around in this field, I guess vlogging something. I don't know. I thought about bringing in all these different vloggers, and I thought maybe there could be some kind of film location like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it could be a fictional film or something that brings them to this one spot out kind of like in the woods. Not really suburbia, but I thought it'd be interesting to have a werewolf in suburbia too. He goes that far. But they get attacked in the middle of the day, so they get killed off like really quick. They're in like the first scene kind of thing. And like Jessica's playing around with this like werewolf or wolf man. Okay, so it's like a fake mask. Well, you know, like a wolfman mask or whatever, you know, like a mask. And they're like doing their little pretend thing, and this werewolf just comes in and mauls them and just totally, you know, kills them. American Werewolf in London style kind of feel. Because some of that is in the daytime, which I thought was interesting. You know, the werewolf film. And so they get killed, and then I just picture these other vloggers coming to this spot, you know, like the carpetbagger, and there's like this gruesome long, you know, werewolf attack. The carpetbagger so this is kind of a comedy, even though it's you know, American Werewolf in London was kind of a comedy in a way, but it's grotesque, kind of, you know, because the werewolf thing is very realistic. Like even in the daytime stuff, it's like we're about to cross a bunch of Alfred Hitchcock would be proud birds coming up here right here, but I'm not going to really film them. You're just going to see them come right across this way. So it's about, okay, so when the Grim Life Collective, I guess people, I don't really know if I'm going to use Grim Life Collective as the name, because I know that's a name and people, but they get mauled by this werewolf, and he takes the werewolf, I guess in half state or whatever, takes the camera, because it's like right when the sun is coming up or something maybe, and he's slowly changing back into, you know, a man, from werewolf state to a man. And he takes the camera and, you know, I guess runs off with it, and it's still on or something. Or the camera gets attached to him, or, you know, somehow he gets a hold of the camera. You know, it sticks to him like a sticky camera. Like they're using this camera or something. I don't really know. Somehow he accidentally runs off with this equipment. I'd have to figure those little things out. You know, like maybe it's a backpack, or maybe the werewolf was once a vlogger. He sees it, you know, kind of like, think of Incredible Hulk, and not really Hulk, but, you know, he can kind of remember, I don't know if Incredible Hulk it's kind of a werewolf film, I guess. Anyway, he ends up getting, you know, the basic camera, because he remembers the camera. He's still werewolf. Oh, camera. He takes their equipment, and he's back at his place, and he has their equipment, and he's not knowing how he got it, or doesn't remember the attacks, but he has their equipment, and maybe like a backpack or something. So that's kind of like the idea of the opening of it. And then, the carpetbagger kind of character comes in to play, and he goes to the same area to vlog that area, and then it's a full moon, and obviously he becomes the other guy, the original werewolf guy, changes into the werewolf, and then mauls the carpetbagger, and it's one victim after the next victim after the next victim. But in there somewhere there's a plot. Maybe there's a werewolf hunter that goes after him. And then I thought about, maybe, if possible, if I got all the money and I could really pay these people, like Adam the Woo, comes in to picture, but he actually survives somehow. During the line, he gets killed. He gets killed by the werewolf. But, they all go to this spot, because a lot of them have gone to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre spot. So they've all come to one area. But anyway, the werewolf gets them. And then, I don't know, I have to look at some werewolf films, especially American Werewolf in London and The Howling. I think it was called The Howling, I think. And see exactly the idea behind what the writer was wanting to say about werewolves and story and plot. So I started listening to the Postal Service Against All Odds, a version of that, really good version. And then I started thinking about the werewolf film, and maybe. Then I thought, I like the vlogging idea. And then maybe like a young vlogger goes to like LA, kind of During the Line style, but way thinner, blonde, blue-eyed, kind of young, naive kid kind of thing, in a world that's very chaotic nowadays with the mask and all the stuff that's going on. And he decides to get out there, and he does like this really silly vlog of something, like a parked car or something. But he realized he did it, the car was parked wrong or something. He's like, wow, I really did it. I really vlogged something, and sent it up. And it starts from there, and follows him through all this whole world of the vlogger kind of thing, and how it then slowly goes from just vlogging a parked car to, not only Walt Disney World and Disneyland and, different celebrities in Hollywood. He becomes very famous, and it kind of in the same thing. Boogie Nights was a little bit like that with P.T. Anderson, only that was a different industry. But we're talking about just vlogging, and the fact that it's just a young kid from a small town that goes to L.A. or Hollywood and becomes this famous vlogger kind of thing, and it make it kind of hip, with like in Boogie Nights or the disco scene, and there's just the whole rush of that industry that they were kind of glamorizing and telling a story of rags to riches, and then to complete disaster back to maybe success. P.T. Anderson was really good with that kind of. I don't know what the story is. Rags to riches to success to disaster to success. Another vlogger comes along, says something about him that hurts his career, and then he's got to come back from that. There's always that fight. It's always kind of like a film like Rocky. It's always kind of like the nobody that becomes something. That whole essence of something. I don't know. But I just like the idea of these vloggers that kind of taking it to their own hands to find a way to become famous.